Cobra Kai. Wow. I did not expect this to be good. I didn't expect it to be good at all, starring Ralph Macchio and William Zabka. I just assumed it was going to be horrible. I mean, it on paper, it looks like it's going to be really, really bad. Karate Kid in the future when they're old, and a TV series? There's a lot of shows, a lot of movies that I think should be TV series. But this one, the underdog rises up to beat an almost unbeatable foe. Single person versus, the toughest of the tough. It just, I've seen it before. And I didn't think it would play well a second time around, being that, meaning, we've seen this. It's a formula. But at the same time, it's a tried and true formula. Daniel-san and Johnny LaRusso, in the movie, the good guy and the bad guy, right? Today, it roles are kind of reversed. The Karate Kid has a bunch of dealerships. He's a car lot salesman. He's a car salesman. Actually, he owns the lot. I think he's got 3 of them. And he's a little bit into himself because, he was the champ. He was the champ. And everybody tells him that all the time. So it's gone to his head. And now he's basically rich. So he is what he perceived those kids to be when he was in school. The rich kid, picking on the non-rich kids. Because now Johnny lost all his money, lost any, he's not popular anymore. He's a drunk. And now he's basically taken the place of the Karate Kid. So now there is like a reversal of fortune going on. And LaRusso, Johnny, wants to start Cobra Kai again. It gives him something, to live for, really. I thought he was going to try to kill himself or something. It gives him something to live for. So he's not really the bad guy, and he's trying to make Cobra Kai different from what it was when he was a kid. Because from his perspective, Daniel, Karate Kid, was picking on him. He had a girlfriend he had been dating since like middle school or whatever, and Danny came along, the Karate Kid came along and threw dirt in his eyes and then beat him up, kicked him in the face, and then went to the Nationals. He didn't expect to see him there. Showed up at the Nationals and kicked him and beat him there too. He took his girl. He saw it a completely different way than Daniel saw it. Daniel saw it as like, man, these guys are picking on me. I'm gonna take your girl. Both of them saw it, their lives through different lenses, and seeing it through their eyes, you could get behind either one of them and say, yeah, man, you've got valid points. It's kind of a dad show, too. It's got a lot of father issues, this show, because Daniel, the Karate Kid, lost his pop. That's the reason him and his mom moved here in the first place. And then he picks up a new dad with Mr. Miyagi, but then Mr. Miyagi dies, so he loses his way again. Now he's got kids, and he's not the perfect dad to them. Johnny, he had dad problems, and the reason that he was rich is because his stepdad had a lot of money, but he rubbed it in his face and he tortured him about it all the time. One of the reasons that he was a jerk in school. Now he has a neighbor who he's not really trying to be the dad for, but he's fallen into the position of being a neighbor kid's dad. But he actually has a son who he's not taking care of because he lost contact. Well, he kind of knew where he was at, but he kind of lost contact too. So they've got daddy issues. The whole show really is about daddy issues on kung fu and cars. And it's funny because the guy Johnny and the original Karate Kid, you wanted to hate that guy, man. He sucks, man. Hate that guy. But now that you see his life through his eyes, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, right, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I get it. And his life makes more sense. And you're not really mad at him so much. And he's funny because he's like stuck in the 80s. It was like somebody froze him at the end of the Karate Kid movie and brought him back. And he doesn't know what the internet is. He has a computer. He takes it back because he says it's broke. And the guy's like, why is it broke? He said, man, it ran out of power. He's like, he needs a new battery. He's like, did you plug it into the wall? He said, why would I plug it into the wall? You told me it was wireless. And he said, yeah, the internet. He said, it's got internet on it, but it's got no power. He's hilarious because he just doesn't seem to get anything. He's got a stack of adult magazines, but when he finally learns about the internet, one of the very first things he sees is adult content. So he's like, wow. And he's just like flip, 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 flip. He's enamored now. He's like, that's incredible. That guy is, he's funny. He's really, really funny. The way he sees the world and the way he lives in the world, it's funny. He still calls women babes and stuff like, look for a hot babe. He's hilarious. He's like they reached into the 80s and pulled him out. That would probably be a good show. You know, somebody gets frozen in the 80s and they wake up today, you know, Encino Man style and everything. That would be a good show. But they're at odds with each other. But you get the feeling that they're not going to stay at odds because another threat has been introduced. That's a threat to both of them. Only comic books. Two superheroes, they meet for the first time, they fight, they knuckle up, but then, you know, the villain shows up, Dr. Doom, the Punisher, Scarecrow, Lex Luthor. The villain shows up and they're like, oh, okay, right. He's worse than you. So let's team up together and get him. Let's get him or them. And that's what happens. They're both basically good guys, but at the same time, they're both a little bit not so good guys. We saw the Karate Kid through Daniel's eyes, so we were behind Daniel. Yeah, man, these guys are picking on you. But when you go back and you see it through LaRusso's eyes, like Daniel saw him dumping the water on him when he was in the latrine, he was like telling the story. He's like, yeah, man, you know, me and this kid, I hadn't even seen him for months. And I'm in the bathroom and he dumped water on me, man. I was dripping wet. This dude dumped water on me. Yeah, I tried to get him. And I'm thinking, is that what happened? Is that the way you saw it? Is that what happened? It's a good show. This show has action. It has drama. It's got a little bit of tearjerker moments as well. It's got a lot of kung fu, karate. They're kicking each other in the face. If you're looking for Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan or, you know, Donnie Yen or some high kicks and some super great moves, nah, you're not going to see that. It's supposed to be a bunch of high school kids, and it looks like a bunch of high school kids kicking each other. They didn't like say, you know, hey, you know, you got this guy, but now stunt double comes in who's a quadruple double X-ray super duper, you know, exalted high purple belt, and he's going to do all your moves for you, and then we're going to flash back to you breathing heavy, and then we'll flash back to him backflipping through the universe. Nah. It looks like they had the kids that were in it doing the moves, because some of them are kicking. Like one guy swings his foot to kick another guy in the face, and his foot comes, you know, just barely as high as where his belt would be. He's like, oh, his foot's like, oh. He just kicks, like just foot's like 2 feet off the ground, and the other guy goes, oh, in the face, like he got kicked. And I'm like, he didn't kick him in the face. He might have kicked him in the thigh, but he didn't kick him in the face. So, I mean, if you're looking for highfalutin kung fu action, nah. But if you're looking for something that's like really entertaining, that coincidentally had a little bit of karate in it, you'll love this. This was good. This is really good. On Netflix, I just finished the 3rd season, and it's one of the rare times that when it ended, I was like eating popcorn and had my little drink in my hand, and then the show, you know, it goes off, next episode comes on. It goes off, next episode goes on. This is one of the rare times when it went off, and I was like, and then it went to a completely different show, and I was like, whoa. I got up and I checked the wiring, because I was like, there's got to be some more shows in here. I shook the box. I called and I was like, hey, you guys are messing with the Cobra Kai. What's going on? I didn't understand it. New season. Why did they stop it like that? Why didn't they give me more? What's up with that? But that's cool because 4 seasons should be available. The 4th season should be coming up soon. I'm hoping it comes up soon. I think this was a really good show. In fact, I think this show was so good that I will give Cobra Kai 7 bags of popcorn. Man, 7 bags of popcorn. Because that's what I think about that. Tragedy at the Senate. That was crazy. Just for a second, I had to jump in and say that. What is going on there and everywhere? But that's what I think. More importantly, what do you think? If you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn passport. Get your popcorn passport.